In this video, I'm going to show you how to enrich customer data and return it to a front end using UI Bakery and Linx. In the last video, I showed you how to set up a REST endpoint, which causes a process which then returns data from a database, which I also showed you how to import from a CSV text file. So now, in our REST operation, what I'm going to do is enrich the data returned from the database with geolocation codes. So if you take a look at our front end, you'll see it has postal codes, but it is missing geolocation, and that data is not stored in our database. So now in order to enrich that data, what we're going to do is that we're going to loop through the list of customers, and then for each customer, we're going to use the postal code in making a request to a API, which will return postal code information associated with that. And this will be done using a free and open API, provides postcode information in the UK, and it will be achieved by using a custom HTTP request. Alright, now there are several ways to achieve this using Linx, and I'm just going to use this way just to demonstrate a few aspects of Linx. So now the get customer from database process returns a list of customers. Now for each customer returned, we're going to make a request, get the data for each customer, and then add that to the output list. So in order to iterate through each item, we can just use a for each and assign that to the list returned from the get customers. Now Linx will automatically pass that list and provide you with the data objects. So now for this one, we're going to make a REST request. We can do that using the core REST endpoint function, and now this allows custom HTTP requests with a number of options for your request. Now Linx allows customized parameter requests. So to do that, we're just going to build up the URL using an expression, and this expression will make a request for specific postcode returned from our database. And to do that, we can use the expression editor and sign it like that. And now in order to see what the result type will be, I'm just going to debug this process and make a test request. So as you can see, the get customers from database process has returned results. Now we are looping through each result and using that postcode to make the request. So as you can see, that has been added to the URL, and the response body containing a string, which is a JSON string, is returned. Now in order to work with the response, we can copy this out and we can import it as an object like we created earlier. So you have the ability to import JSON and XML schema, so it will automatically create the necessary information. So here we can see we've imported an object, and that's the response. And now we can rename these as we want, so we can rename this to response if we wish. And that could be our custom type. Now we are able to set the output of the call to the custom type that we just created, which is the postal code response. Now I'm able to see what the result is. I can just drag a string in here and step through to that process. So when I debug again, you can see the core REST endpoint has returned a result with the data objects already passed. Alright, so now that the data is returned, I'm going to add this data to the output. So in order to add it to the output, I can remove the set value and again use an add to list. So using the add to list function, I can add it to my response body, which is automatically generated, and then I can assign individual fields. So in this case, I'm going to assign it itself, Now you'll notice that it doesn't contain a geolocation field. Now in order to do that, we can just simply expand that custom type and add a geolocation field. Now this will automatically create the structure. Now if we go back to our add to list, geolocation field is there, and we can use the expression editor to create a field with the longitude and latitude of the result. So here we have the result. We have latitude. We can put a comma in there, and the longitude. And Linx will automatically handle the conversion. If I debug this process now, we can check that the output is successful. It has returned the longitude and latitude. We're going to add that to the list. You can see here there's an error. Now we can check that assignment, and we see here age is incorrect, so we can reference the correct field and debug again to ensure that the data is correct. Now you can see the output has been enriched with the geolocation. So now that we're satisfied, we can deploy this to our cloud server and test it out on the front end. Now if we open UI Bakery, we can just refresh that. And we can see here the geolocation data has been enriched and the services have run.